everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 6 bad things that beginner drivers do. In this video, I'll be going over 6 specific things that are not so good that many beginner drivers do. If you're a beginner driver, and even if you only do one of these, you should try to avoid doing them. So even if you only do one of them, you should try to cut it out. All right, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 1, beginner drivers will oftentimes drive with many passengers. Now, beginner drivers, when they get their license at a young age, they're most likely going to be one of the only drivers within their group of friends. That means that they're going to be, quote unquote, the designated driver for their group of friends. Now, that's not such a great thing. I know that it's a lot of responsibility, and it might make you feel great as a beginner driver to be the driver in your group of friends, but having many passengers in the car when you're a beginner driver isn't a great idea. When you're a beginner driver, you have the least amount of driving experience that you're going to have in your whole life. And when you mix that up with a lot of loud passengers, that are also at a young age, it's just not a great idea. So try to work your way up. Start with 1 responsible passenger, then maybe work your way up to 2, 3, 4, and so forth if you have a vehicle that can actually be capable of handling that many passengers. Number 2, beginner drivers will often play their music loudly. Once again, you're driving a car, you just got your license, you feel great. With that emotion of feeling great, you blast the music. It's not a great idea. Once again, you have the least amount of driving experience that you're ever gonna have. Playing your music loudly is a pretty big distraction, and it's just not a great idea. There's nothing wrong with driving with a little bit of music, even if you turn it up slightly, but try to avoid playing your music loudly. Number 3, beginner drivers will often stop practicing their driving skills. Now, just because you got your license doesn't mean you can stop practicing your driving skills. I've had my license for many years, and I still practice my driving skills almost every day. It's a really good idea to continue practicing your driving skills because, number 1, there's always room for improvement, but number 2, when you have great driving skills, you allow yourself to be safer as a driver, and you also allow everyone else around you to be safer when you're a safer driver. So for the benefit of yourself and everyone around you, just keep practicing those driving skills. And I would recommend practicing your weakest skills. Figure out which skills you're not so good at and practice them until you're good. Then keep practicing them until you're great at them. It's as simple as that. Number 4, beginner drivers sometimes don't learn basic car maintenance. So I'm not talking about doing things like an oil change or anything like that. I mean things like roadside maintenance, boosting your battery or boosting someone else's battery so that they can start their car or you can start your car. I'm talking about changing a flat tire, okay? I'm talking about filling up your gas tank. I'm talking about inflating a tire that is low. Things like that, refilling the windshield wiper fluid, things like that, all beginner drivers should learn how to do as early in their driving career as possible. Number 5, beginner drivers will often drive too quickly for the road conditions. Now, what beginner drivers have to learn really quickly, as quickly as possible, is that the way that you drive when the roads are dry is different than the way that you drive when the roads are wet. Right now, it's raining outside, so that changes the way that I am driving compared to when the road conditions are not ideal. As the road conditions worsen, you have to slow down, you have to increase the following distance, you have to, make sure that your reactions are really quick and on point. You have to just hone in on your driving skills. There's little room for error as the weather conditions and the road conditions worsen. Last but not least, number 5 in this video is beginner drivers will often get into common bad driving habits. Now, there are many common driving habits that are bad that you see with many experienced drivers. Rolling stops is one of them, okay? Not using their signal is another. Not checking their blind spot is another. Not giving the right of way when they don't have the right of way is another. There are many very, very common bad driving habits that you probably see happening every single day, just like I do. Now, as a beginner driver, it is your duty to avoid falling into those bad driving habits. Make sure that you avoid falling into those bad driving habits because number one, they'll probably get you a ticket. Number two, they are extremely unsafe. It's as simple as that. So keep your good driving habits as long as you can. And that's basically it. In this video, I've gone over 6 bad things that beginner drivers do. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. What are some other bad things that beginner drivers commonly do? Let me know down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.